Hello and welcome back to Yellow Pine on City Skylines 2. My name is Icks and we are starting to grow our village. I would almost consider calling it a town at this point. I am so happy with the progress we've made and there's a lot more to do. Last episode I said we were going to work on this little island here. However, I have had a change of plans. Following many very engaged comments on Reddit, I have been inspired to follow what you guys want in this city. So today, that is exactly what we're going to be doing. And we are going to start off with one person who said they want to see a small community of no more than 100 residents living as far from the main city as possible. Well, I can assure you guys that by the end of this map, this will not be our main city, so I am not going to complain too much about this community being slightly nearer to this little village than you might expect. Now, where on earth could we have a place away from everyone? Well, I'm thinking this mountain, maybe not right to the peaks, but at the very least the foothills. I think we should be building this new idea on. I'm personally thinking we could have a nice road that comes up here. And then right where the terrain flattens, where the snow begins, is where we can have our tiny... Oh my goodness, look at this. So does this mean the seasons are changing if everything is starting to melt, or is it just we're coming to the middle of the day? I wonder if this snow will come back later in the evening. This is pretty cool. I like this. Where was I? Oh yes, I think this is where we are going to start our community. And we'll have our abandoned mines a little bit further up the mountain. Perhaps we could have a few mines along the way, along the road up here, but once we get to the top, it's going to be truly abandoned, just how it's been described in the brief. But first things first, that's where we want to build, and this is our city, so we're going to have to buy some tiles. Now, it seems we've got plenty of money in the banks, so if we do buy this tile, these two for the run up to the actual area, this one, probably both of these actually, and maybe just this tile to connect our current city. Oh, and just like that, we're a boomtown. Very nice. We are growing and we've got some money that we're going to pump straight into buying some land. As I was saying, I think we're going to actually expand all the way around here. Why am I doing this? Well, I want loads of different connections to reach this area. I don't want there to be a main road. I want there to be loads of winding, convoluted country lanes that eventually get here. We're going to have some begin here, and in the long term, this little village, I do want to pad out with a bit more residential here. So let's buy these tiles and we will see what we can now do. And just like that, our land has expanded and our village is looking awfully square. Now, the first road that I want to lead up to our area that we're going to be building today is going to begin here. This road here that currently leads into all of this residential area is eventually going to expand all the way around here. So that's what I want to do right now. I want it to come just out like this, and we're going to bend it down so it eventually leads to more residential. But what we're going to have here is an alley, a very small alley that's going to break off here, just like this. It's going to cross over the railways. However, it isn't significant enough of a road to actually justify a bridge. So we're just going to have it like this. We are going to put ourselves a little roundabout here, just like that. And now we are going to let this road gradually creep up this mountain. Now, I am already loving this road. It looks so organic, so natural, going around the forests, which I really like. I did leave it here because I want us to start another road around here that's going to join along here. Do you remember, guys, this road that we built in the last episode that goes under the railway and leads to a small little industrial zone? Well, I think this would be a great place for another small alleyway to branch off from. It's away from most places, no one is really going to be using it or seeing it, and that's exactly the vibe I want to be going for. So we're going to have it slowly and gradually spiral up here, and then those roads are going to join just like this. And wow, that is pretty steep. I think these two connections will do the job for the time being. So how about we continue this road gradually up the slope? This would have been a great ski slope as well, to be fair. And we are going to have our small community begin here. Now, in the brief, this person basically wants us to have less than 100 homes, with a lot of them relying on agriculture as their main source of income. And that is exactly what we're going to do. Let's have the main road come all the way up here. Now, this dirt path here is going to be home to our general store, and our saloon style bar, the only shops that these residents are going to have access to. At this junction, we're going to have another road that comes out here that will be home to some people. And we're also going to create a small junction roundabout around here, going in both directions, with a little road coming up here as well, just like that. And all we have to do now is drop a roundabout. This is going to be like the focal point of our little community. So let's get ourselves a really nice tree as a centerpiece. We're going to have a dirt path that comes right up this mountain here, all the way to the top, if we can just about do it. We've got a little tunnel going on here and some sketchy looking terrain here, but we finally get to the pinnacle. I think we can use this top here for something different, but I want the road to continue just around here. And this is where we're going to have a few more little houses as a part of this abandoned mining community. This road is going to branch all the way up here. And just looking at the contouring, it seems like we could even have a little section here, just like so. Perhaps also a little road up here. And maybe from here, the road comes all the way back down. So with the game paused now, I'm going to zone in, and I'm going to try and zone in meaningfully. And what I mean by that is I'm not just going to blanket zone things. In the brief, it was said that they wanted literally just 2 commercial areas with a general store and a saloon. So that is exactly what we are going to do. We're going to have a small plot here and another relatively small plot here. And hopefully when it zones in, it's not going to be a petrol station. And if it is, we will demolish it. And now for low density housing. I think everything is zoned far apart at this point, which is exactly what this Redditor wanted when they commented to me. I think what comes next now are a few farms that these people can actually work on. Ooh, we've developed ourselves a paper factory. How cool is this? You know what, guys? It's messy, it doesn't really make sense, but that is the world we live in. Not everything works efficiently. This is exactly what I want to build in the cities that I show you. Realism, and as we see, our odd little farmhouses getting zoned in, I think we are making very good progress to the brief we were given. We will have to wait for the moment of truth because our commercial zones are not zoning in yet. But even from this perspective, I don't know what you guys think, but from my perspective right here, this whole area, it's been dug out as if it once was a mining village, and now it's been left abandoned, and all the areas that were once mined are now farmland. I don't even want to understand the physics of this farm right now. But to be honest with you, especially from a distance, it kind of looks alright. I do feel like we could do with some more tree density in some of these areas. I've not discovered the ruins to a mine, but I have found the ruins to a mill. And I feel like putting a few of these around the area will give the impression that its prime days are long behind them. I feel like we could have one here looking onto our city. Perhaps one here on the farmhouse, which has completely terraformed this land. But again, natural formations, I suppose. We also have loads of industrial manufacturing props that we could put in. So let's do that now. And I'm going to add just a couple of very small industrial buildings. I feel like this would add so much realism, especially for this little abandoned area here that almost looks mid-construction, as if it ran out of funding just as this area was losing popularity and people started to move out. Now, I have just noted something in our brief which says small farms or ranches. If you think that this does not count as small, then please tell me and I will redo it. I personally think the way the farms are here work really, really well. But if it doesn't match your criteria and you want it to be redone, then let me know in the comments and I will see what I can do. And I'll be honest with you, I know I said I was fine with this farm before, but it's really annoying me the way it's set out. So I think I'm going to remove it and try to do it a little bit better. There we go. I also tried to make it a little bit smaller. Oh no, it seems like we've got some farm animals that have discovered how to defy the laws of gravity right now. I have no idea what on earth they're going to do if they're going to join this new farm we've just built, but we shall let them stay and hopefully they don't hurt themselves. And how convenient and realistic is this? We've got ourselves a petrol station where we were meant to have a saloon bar. I think I'm going to delete this and see if we can grow something that makes a little bit more sense. But I'm pretty happy with how this area is turning out. As you wind up the roads to this mountain village, you start off with a few small little homes with their own forest farms. Right at the top here, you find yourself a, well, soon to be commercial area with quite literally 2 shops planned. And over here, you have some remnants of the old mining area that this place used to be. Turning around, you see the result of what mining does to an area. This whole cliff face has been dug into, resulting in very strangely formed farms that the people living here have had to resort to because they have no other way to make money. As we move further to the top of this area here, we find another area filled with boulders, perhaps things that were once mined in this zone. An unfinished bridge sits there, reminding the whole village of what they could have been. The top of this peak sits beautifully by, absolutely untouched. And you guys know what I think would work really, really well here. The ruins to a castle. If we put it right here, I think this is an amazing vantage point. You can see our entire town from here. Obviously, this town is going to grow and we're going to have loads more suburbs before we get to a capital city. And maybe you guys could tell me in the comments where you would want to see that capital city in our map. Look at this. It seems like our one commercial building that has zoned in is not a petrol station. And to be honest with you, from my perspective, this could pass as either a general store or even a bar. So I am really happy with this. And I think the residents of this small little village, oh my goodness, I keep forgetting how crazy the terrain is around here. I think the people of this area will be very happy to see this. I really hope I've been able to do justice to what you wanted in this little village. If not, like I said, let me know in the comments and I'll come back to this. But I personally am pretty happy. As my first ever brief from Reddit, I'm pretty happy with what we've produced here. And so on to our next recommendation. Now, since my city has got mountains, I should make some old abandoned indigenous village like Machu Picchu as a tourist attraction. This goes so well with what I've just built and I am so excited to get started. I'm thinking this flat area here, just beside our abandoned mining village, would be a great place to do this. So you know what that means. We need to buy more tiles. By the looks of it, not many tiles at all. I really want our road to turn and curve all the way around to reach here. So I'm going to buy a few tiles, even though this is the only area that we should be building in today. Now, I actually want to start with our indigenous village. So the first thing I'm going to do is to draw out some dirt paths. I think this simple layout will do the job. Now, although this is going to be an indigenous tribe that live here, I want to have some coexistence. So we're going to put a couple of farms just to bulk out the place a little bit. However, these farms are not going to be big at all, and they are not going to impede with the land that our indigenous locals will have called home for such a long time. Okay, I think I just blinked and this came to be. How did this get snow-capped literally within 5 seconds? I have no idea, but this is going to make our job a lot harder. Now, it's great that we've got these tents in the game because this could be where a lot of the original inhabitants actually live. We're going to have one zone here where they are camped out on. And perhaps before our village here, and well before this abandoned mining village, they had these stone heads that they worshipped. So how about we put a few here? I just love adding backstories, and I think this is a great thing to add. We're going to put 3 just like this. And maybe we could add some old mill ruins here as well, just to add a bit of depth and texture right on the cliff edge here. Maybe heading further down towards this farm. Leading down this road, we get to the old ruins of a cemetery. And I think that fits really well, actually. Maybe with another indigenous community right here. And although the brief does say an indigenous village, it does say abandoned. So although we do have people still living here, I want us to have some real remnants of an old civilization. And I think these rocks here will be a really good sign that there used to be a community here that worshipped something, just like those heads in the distance there. Maybe we could add these stone monuments either side as well, add a slight bit of symmetry. Perhaps we could add some more ruins over there. You know something, I can just about get behind the farm being here, but this farm I just don't think really fits in, so I don't want there to be much urbanization. The only last bit of urbanization I'm going to add in, actually, is this stage. I feel like it would be such a great thing if we had ourselves just a very small stage right here, because I just really like the thought that people would come all the way up into the mountains here to enjoy some kind of concert, maybe a few times a year. And so perhaps we had a kiosk here as well. Maybe a food stall or 2. We can put it right on the corner here, and maybe another food stall here, but that is all we're going to have. So as things stand, we've got ourselves a little indigenous community here, and another one right here. The only other additional form of civilization is this farm here, which once perhaps belonged to one of the original residents here that they eventually developed. And I tell you what, guys, I've got an idea. We're going to get some wildflower bushes and we're going to put them down. And there is a very good reason why we're doing this. Now, when the snow eventually melts, all of these wildflowers will hopefully be in full bloom with beautiful colours. Now, my idea is that this farm exists to harvest these wildflowers. They're an extremely rare kind of flower that you can only find at the top of this mountain in our entire city. And it then gets exported, not just around here, but far and beyond our borders. Harvested by our indigenous tribe, they still traditionally live in their tents, but they work on this farm here, harvesting the berries and flowers with therapeutic properties that you find nowhere else in this city. But there's no point having this community here if they cannot actually reach our current village and later our city. So what I'm thinking is that we have a road here that comes straight off the main road that's led up to our old abandoned mining village. This dirt path is going to wind its way all the way up this mountain. I've decided to go with this great bridge at the top of our peak here. I feel like we could have some really interesting backstory to how it existed and how this tribe built it painstakingly and later on got redeveloped into concrete by the city council to help preserve the history of our city. But I think this path coming up here looks pretty realistic. It will be interesting to see this once the snow eventually melts. But I'm loving this so far, and I think it goes so well with our abandoned mining village. Now, there seems to be one prevalent issue in our big village right now, just going back to it for a second, and that is healthcare. So we're going to finish off this episode by adding in a larger medical clinic that will hopefully be able to deal with all of the issues we're seeing right now. I'm thinking this junction here would be a really good place to have our clinic. It's central, it's accessible, and so if I'm able to draw a road out from here, just like this, and then I stretch out the road along here behind these offices, I think I would be able to fit in a really... Okay, it seems like not. And just like that, our medical clinic is ready to start serving people, and we already have ambulances leaving, so there must be a great need. Wow, 2 ambulances. Are we going to get a third? We are. Oh wow, we're getting a 4th as well, and a 5th. Okay, well, we obviously need them, and I've just noticed something about this van. It's just come from the medical clinic, and it's heading to this building, which we have actually built ourselves in our industrial area that does medical supplies. How cool is that? That just makes the city feel so integrated. I love that. And just like that, a lot of our problems in our city have been resolved. And how cool is this? From our farmland down here, we can see that bridge built by the indigenous people centuries ago up on that mountain peak. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure. As well as seeing our village expand in real time, we were able to develop 2 things that you guys wanted me to build. We have here an abandoned mining area that once in its prime is now filled with agriculture, a few houses forming a community with only 2 shops to supply them. And I am so glad to see that we have got no petrol stations here. Perhaps this could be the store then. This is the store that our people of this little area use, and this is the saloon bar by the looks of it. This crazy place is just so mismatched, but I really love it, so thank you so much for the recommendation to build this. And if we continue up this road further and further and further, after we cross this great beautiful bridge, we find ourselves a farm, home to an indigenous tribe that harvests the precious and lucrative red berries and wildflowers to the rest of our city. Once again, thank you so very much for watching. As you guys know by now, I am a very small channel, and any form of engagement, whether it's a like, comment, or subscription, will mean the world to me, and I will be forever thankful. Once again, thank you so very much to the 2 wonderful contributors that gave me the amazing idea to build our 2 new areas today. Drop a comment below if you have any more ideas for the remainder of our map. Until next time, Yellow Pine says goodbye to you, and I hope to see you all very, very soon.